cool life can't put me in a box. I redefine any definition you got. I am the tiger.
And welcome back to Britt N Jam's podcast.
Hello.
Episode number 4.
Number 4. Wow.
Can't believe we've got 4 already.
We're steaming ahead.
Jeez.
Lose count next week.
I know. We're very sorry that we didn't post one last week. We weren't very well, were we? We've had a bit of a bad week.
I was pretty ill, to be fair.
Yeah, you picked something up from your brother, hadn't you? You had a really bad cold.
Cold, cough, sore throat. I think I've still got a little bit of it, but
yeah, really struck down with it last week, weren't you?
Bit of man flu.
Yeah.
And then you caught a little bit towards the end, didn't you?
Yeah, I wasn't too well towards the end either. So yeah, we're back ready to rock and roll again, aren't we?
Yeah.
So what have we been up to since we last did our podcast, babe?
Right, it's been 2 weeks. Other than work, and it being normal, work. Went golf the other day, didn't we? I took you around for your first ever golf course. Nice little short game one. We enjoyed that. In fact,
loved that.
We ended up having to miss hole 8 and 9 because it was going to shut. Yeah. Excuse me.
It's mad how quick the time goes on there, doesn't it? I thought, an hour and a half easy.
We thought that,
but
obviously not. And we were only...
Takes a long time.
No one was behind us or in front of us, really, so...
No, it just takes a long time to, walk it as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You have to get your steps in doing that.
It is good to get your steps in, though.
Mm.
But we'll... it's a lovely day for today, so we'll do that again today.
Yeah.
That's pretty much about it. There wasn't anything exciting that we've done the past couple of weeks that I can certainly think of. Obviously, we've made arrangements for the pod collab with the YouTuber for sometime soon. So we started to make headway on that. That's all booked in and stuff.
Yeah, we've booked a venue, haven't we?
Yeah.
Which I'm really excited about.
And then last night we went to see one of my idols, if you will. Went to see Big Willie.
Will Smith.
Getting jiggy with it.
I actually really enjoyed it last night. Even though it was more for you than me last night. I feel like it was better than I expected.
It was, same. It was unreal. I mean, I've seen clips and stuff on YouTube or whatever of his performances or what he does, and I knew it was like a live thing. He doesn't mind and stuff like that. But it was absolutely brilliant. It was unreal. So it was in Scarborough Open Air Theatre, so it was nice and cool. We were sat perfectly near pretty much centre of the stage. Unreal view. And so Ricky and Melvin came out first, but all they did was play songs. It was a bit
just like a live
radio, wasn't it? Yeah. Then Scott
set.
Mills came out. We weren't bothered about that. Ended up seeing my best mate and his cousin. They were there, so we supported them for a bit.
Yeah.
And then Will came out, and it was absolutely class.
Fantastic.
Absolutely brilliant. Better than I expected. He put on a great show. He did all the nostalgic hits and all the what you'd expect, getting jiggy with the Men in Black, Boom Boom Shake the Room, everything. It was absolutely class. So he started off with his old school stuff. Obviously, he did Fresh Prince, the theme tune, and then went on to his more current stuff after the old school stuff. So through the noughties and stuff, and then he did a couple of off his new album, and then we had a couple of emergencies in the crowd, didn't there?
God, yeah. 2 people passed out.
Well, one did. I don't know who the one was, but it was like he was like halfway through his song, and he people started pointing like this, like everyone started pointing loads, and he was like, "Right, cut the music. We've got an emergency here. Can we get some medical staff over?" So because he was talking about love money, you know.
That was like your American accent there.
Well, yeah. I don't know how to do Will Smith's accent, but but then there was 2. He was going through a proper heartfelt moment, and someone else is.
Yeah, he's having a proper moment, wasn't he? Like speaking to the crowd, and then he was like, "Sorry, another medical emergency. Can someone get some help?"
Oh, that stupid girl behind us.
Oh my god.
Flipping heck. She must have been about 14-year-old, but she had the mentality of an 8-year-old, like the maturity of an 8-year-old child. flipping.
She
All
was
she did,
screaming, and I mean screaming.
like when it's like silent, everyone's just like enjoying the moment. She would just scream for the sake of it. Everyone kept turning around to her and shush.
Yeah, everyone was actually
Where's
telling
your
her to
mother?
be quiet.
She must be embarrassed. Just scream. He wouldn't talk, she'd scream. He talked, she'd scream. He wasn't there, she'd scream. He was there, she'd scream. What are you doing?
It wasn't like just a scream. It was like literally.
It was like I'm being like attacked. Scream.
It was like not even. I think
It was ear piercing, wasn't it?
it was like only a frequency that a dog
Dogs
could
can
hear.
hear. Yeah.
It was that piercing.
We started hearing wolves. Oh, in the distance, didn't we?
The thing is, like,
it was ridiculous.
I know, like, you get really like, overwhelmed when you meet your idols, right? But even I thought, freaking, I went to go see Imagine Dragons, and that was like my idol, and even I didn't scream that bad, and I just think, God, like, I must have done him a disservice the way she screamed at Will Smith.
And then it went dark at one point, and then obviously Will Smith and the team were on stage because we were going to do Men in Black, and she was like, "Oh my God, they're all in dark suits!" Like, I bet she didn't even know what was coming up. She just, it just spoilt it because, and I understand you go to a concert, you scream over it, but there's a time and a place, not when it's like dead quiet, and then she's just an isolated person screaming her tits off.
Even when everyone was
You
silent,
think she was getting attacked? It was OTT. It really was.
Yeah, and she burst out crying as well, didn't she? At one point,
she was good. Didn't
like,
know.
sobbing.
Yeah, because he was
sobbing.
doing a heartfelt moment to James Avery, who's Unreal actor, and he was playing. He played Uncle Phil. He died in 2013. So I was trying to say to Britt, I said, "Oh, that's Uncle Phil." She was like, because I've been getting Britt into Fresh Prince, and she was like, "Oh, Uncle Phil, yeah." I went, "He's dead," She was like, "Oh, is he?" I was like, "Yeah, he
I
died.
don't even know.
This is what he's about to do." So this girl started crying. "Oh my God, he's died!" Oh, 2013. So even she didn't know, but she's screaming.
Yeah,
that just shows you that she's just screaming for the sake of it.
Out
yeah, she was
because it was like a sad moment.
Drunk.
Jesus, I don't even know if she was. She looked quite young.
Well, she's special, but
you can't say
that. She was. Anyway, it was, apart from that, it was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And then obviously, like I say, he was talking about what he's went through and stuff like that. And you turned to me and went, "Oh, what's he talking about? Did you have an affair?" I went, what do you mean? I said, the most controversial thing Will Smith's ever done. No, he hasn't done an affair. You can't remember what he's done. You were like, "No." I said, "He slapped Chris Rock." You went, "Oh," as though like
he was referring to like one of his highlight moment of his career was meant to be this like
pinnacle
special
night,
thing,
the Grammys on that night that he slapped him,
and it was ruined.
Yeah.
And
then after hour later, brought out his Grammy.
Yeah.
I
I didn't get the reference at first until Jamie explained, and I remembered that incident.
Die-hard fan, yeah. So it was, yeah. So, well, I mean, that brings us on to: do you think that one mistake could define his whole career?
Nah, because everyone was literally going, "Will,"
Yeah.
but like no one, like it didn't put anyone off him, did it?
Well, no, but
Everyone was
it's been,
cheering him.
3 years later, I think it might have been now.
Did he get a lot of backlash when it first happened?
Oh, hell yeah, it was cancelled by like a lot
really?
of Hollywood. Oh, yeah. It was huge.
Oh,
But
God.
to be fair, like in my eyes, like once again, me growing up, I absolutely adored him. Obviously, I loved his music because I was into that sort of thing. I loved Fresh Prince. I adored Fresh Prince growing up. One of my favourite songs Will's ever done is called... Oh my God, it's just in my head.
Die Hard fan of me.
Oh my God, it's there.
Oh
my
can't
God.
remember your favourite song. See, I'd remember if it was Imagine Dragons.
It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh my God, how embarrassing. It's basically a true story.
The one about his like him starting to rap.
Loretta. Bloody hell. I knew it was on the tip of my tongue. No, Loretta. So basically, about a die-hard fan who fell in love with the Prince of Bel-Air. Not Will Smith.
Oh,
like
right.
Will Smith as in the real Will Smith. She fell in love with Will Smith, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Obviously, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, yes, they used his real name, but the reason they used his real name is because Philip Avery once said to him, I think, actually, no, it wasn't Philip, it was Alfonso Ribeiro Carlton. Carlton said to him, if you want people to know who you are for the rest of your life, use your real name. Don't use a character's name. because Carlton is only known as Carlton.
Yeah.
Will Smith said, okay, I'll be Will Smith then. Because everybody knows, when you see him in the street, Will Smith, it's not like a character's name, it's Will Smith.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when people see Carlton in the street, they go, Carlton. He's like, well, that's my character.
Yeah.
So a girl fell in love with the Prince of Bel-Air, Will Smith, not real Will Smith. So she'd go everywhere where they mention Will Smith would be. I'm literally reciting lyrics here. They go Will Smith. So NBC studios, MTV studios, she'd constantly go there. She ended up being a stalker. And she ended up getting arrested because she was that obsessed with him. And she facilitated this fantasy in her head that became her reality, that they were actually partners, even though they'd never met. Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Oh,
that's mental.
It's one of the best songs. It's one of my favourite songs that he does, because it's just, I love true story, like relation stuff. So Loretta, absolutely amazing song. And it's got Mary J. Blige in it. And so how did we even get onto that point? I've waffled on that much, I forgot.
I don't know now. I've lost track of why we started talking about that.
Right, wait, cut here, babe. Because I fucking lost our track of thought.
What were we saying?
Oh, defining the moment.
Oh, yes.
And then we said, does that define his moment? Right, okay, so we'll cut here. So basically, my point is like, he was my idol. I loved him growing up. Acting as well, obviously, all the other films that he did in Hollywood from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Bear in mind, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was his first acting role.
Right.
So you heard him last night. He said I was 21 when he started. Obviously, he was playing a 16-year-old, but he was 21 when he started, or 17-year-old. He was 21 when he started. And, he just flourished from there.
Yeah.
But obviously, I admit, when he slapped Chris Rock, I was like, I lost a lot of respect for him.
Really?
And I just thought, he's wasted now, that sort of thing.
Gone to his head.
But I listened to his book and the audio book, and he did not paint Jada in a very good light at all. He didn't. When I stopped listening to the book, I was like, oh my God, I don't like her even more now, just because of what I knew of her. Obviously, once again, I can only base my opinion from what I read and heard and whatever.
Yeah.
But she's not a nice woman at all. Obviously, she wanted to know some open relationship. She ended up sleeping with Augusta Serna. It was a singer at the time. So she's openly had an affair, and he stood by and watched it and was like, oh, okay, yeah, just because I love you that much, I'll let you do what you want, type of thing. But he can just do so much better than her, but he just won't leave her side. And
Isn't that crazy? It
is crazy. But like I say, it did form another opinion from when he did that, and I was like, but for me, the question that it shouldn't have defined his whole career, and that, yes, he's had to climb a lot of ladders and climb his way back to where he is now because of what he did was so wrong and whatever. He just obviously could have handled it way better, and it was just weird. Weird. But I just get the feeling, this is just my own opinion again, she's the type of woman that if he'd have sat there and did nothing, she'd went, you did nothing for me, you didn't stand up for me when Chris Rock was taking the piss out of my alopecia. It was like, I'll do something about it. No, I've said something now, you're only going to do it. Okay, I won't do anything about it. So he can't win. So then he does get up and slap him, let me defend my wife. Oh my God, I can't believe you done that. Oh my God. You can't win.
Yeah.
You don't want me to fight for you, you don't.
Yeah.
So I just think slapping him was a little bit too far. It was almost like when you slap someone, like women slap.
Yeah, I was going to say a slap.
Bear in mind, he did Ali. He knows boxing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just weird. I didn't get a slap. It looked staged. It looked theatrical.
Yeah.
Because the way even Chris Rock's reaction looked theatrical, but obviously it wasn't staged. It was real and it was weird. And I know we're touching on stuff that's 3 or 4 years old, no one's interested in, but it got to the point of he was explaining. Obviously, he didn't go into detail. He just said, past couple of years, I made a mistake and whatever. And obviously, all the crowd and everyone was showing him love, and But it was unreal. And then I said to you, didn't I, just before we left, because we started walking down when we said it was his last song. Started walking down because we wanted to avoid the crowd. We were quite high up, so avoid standing in line and whatnot to get out. And I was like, oh, I can't believe it's Summertime. Summertime's the only flipping song. Like, I would have really, really... Anyway, just about to walk off when he goes, the new...
Yeah, you wasn't that came on as the last song, weren't you? You
absolutely.
You nearly thought he'd left it out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But no, it was an amazing concert. To be fair, he put on a really good show, and I was impressed with it. Even though I'm not a diehard Will Smith fan, I do like him, but not as much as you, obviously. But even I enjoyed that. I'd see him again.
Yeah, I thought it was absolutely class.
Yeah.
Like the only the two people I would love to meet, like obviously if ever we made it to the point where, oh my God,
keep dreaming,
keep dreaming. All
yeah.
that.
Hey,
I would
no
love
dreams too small.
Two people I would love to meet. I mean, I know Arnold Schwarzenegger is getting on now, but Arnold Schwarzenegger, because I adored him growing up, loved him as a dad, like loved to have had him as a dad, growing up, and Will Smith. Those are two people.
Two very cool people.
I mean, Eminem's obviously another one, but I'm never going to meet him. But them two, I would. Because the thing is, when Will Smith's on stage and he's talking, you get his persona. Like, he was always smiling, laughing, and like, he's that joyful. And he said, the only thing I ever want to bring out is joy in people, energy, make them laugh, make them feel happy and all that sort of stuff. And he does seem that type of character. And he was like really making sure that everybody knew who people were on the stage, on his keyboard, the singers, the dancers, everyone else.
It wasn't just him, the celebrity in the middle, and everyone else was just his
entourage.
Yeah, like making him look good.
Yeah.
He physically introduced every single one of the people that were on stage helping him, like, because without them,
it's no show, really,
no
is
show,
it?
Yeah. And I love celebrities like that. I hate it when celebrities just like walk on like there's some mighty power and I'm here and like kind of like you all bow down to me type of thing. I'm better than everyone else. I like it when people are famous but they're humble with it, which obviously Will Smith clearly is. Like I'm probably gonna get a bit of stick for this, but like say like Justin Bieber and things like that. Like he's very much like no paps please, like just very like ignorant, isn't he?
I don't think it was at first. He enjoyed it because
no, he was, but then it got to his head.
Yeah.
And then I think now he is one of those that like...
Well, he was only you
couldn't talk to him.
A few months ago, he came out and was like... Yeah, but he did say... He came out... But this is again... You probably won't have seen this, but he came out to one of the paparazzi and said... Like, he came over to him and said, can you do me a favour? Can you stop taking pictures of me? You're here 24/7.
Yeah.
Fair enough if you want to do it. If we're going out for a... I don't know, if I'm going to a concert or going here or going there. But this is 24/7.
Yeah,
it's ruining my mental health. I'm telling you... Stop it because you're going too far. Before I do something I regret or do something wrong, please can you stop it? So basically it was a cry for help, I think.
Yeah.
Because he was, I don't know, going through some stuff, I don't know, maybe this Diddy stuff came out.
But those type of celebrities, when it's gone to, you can see it's gone to their head too much and they're not there to use their fame in a positive way. They're always in the news for sort of bad things and stuff, and there's always drama around them, and I just think, like if I was famous, I would be like a person like Will Smith, where I would use it as a way to make people feel better or help people. Do you know what I mean?
Obviously, there's a time and a place where you do want that bit of intimacy or a bit of private time where you just want it to be that group or you two or whatever it may be. They say, look, not now, I will, but everybody handles it differently.
It must be hard being famous and everyone knowing who you are.
Yeah, especially with that famous, they know every move of yours. Yeah, that's a bit sad.
People wish for that done. Like, I wish I was famous. I didn't have to work and I had all this money and I was rich. But you pay a price, don't you? Really, to be rich and famous. Your life's not yours anymore.
No, you can do.
We have the luxury of going to the shop without people papping us and.
Well, we do get at least one person recognises us every year. So.
Your mum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like that side of it. Not having privacy.
Just have to try and create a structure, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And it's different in America, though, isn't it? America's so huge and there's so many people. I don't know.
Yeah. But also that was last night. But speaking of rapping, actually, my sister asked me to ask you.
Mm.
You know all these random outbursts that you have in our podcast.
Oh yeah.
Jamie's little raps.
Right.
She was wondering what's the background to your rapping and why do you like rap so much? What call these little outbursts?
Good
raps?
question. Well, personally, I don't think it's an interesting story, but all it is just when we were growing up as kids, my mum, single parents, raising me and my brother. My mum's deaf, you see, so we never had anything in the house like listening to music or radios because if our mum can't listen to it, what's the point in turning it on? So whenever we used to watch the TV would have we'd have to have a television that enabled subtitles. So back in my day, it was CFAX, and you pressed 888, and that would give you subtitles that would come on the screen. Obviously, only for pre-recorded programs, it was easier. Otherwise, live programs, someone has to physically type it in when there's a 10-15 second delay from the studio to the TV to catch up with the subtitles and stuff like that. So obviously, growing up, the only type of music we would listen to, my dad was deaf as well, you see. So, which is another story, but we couldn't, there were separate parents. But when we used to listen to music, it would be during something like Top of the Pops. So obviously I know I'm a lot older than you, but going back to Top of the Pops, obviously this was, you didn't have any stream. Obviously internet wasn't out back then, so you didn't have any streaming service. So the only music you listened to was either on a cassette tape, which was before CDs, and then you had the radio. Obviously you had turntables for your vinyl records. So my granddad had he liked his stereos, but we'd never listen to that around there. So the only time we would ever listen to it was like watching Top of the Pops or something on TV. So whenever we'd listen to music, it was just something that, so for example, when we started getting older, me and my brother were into, I know very sad, but this is our era, PJ and Duncan. We were into them, which are now out on deck. So we watched Biker Grove, and we liked Biker Grove because it was, near us, it was in Newcastle, and it was quite a famous programme on the BBC. But then Ant and Dec started releasing music, and Ant was the rapper and Dec was the singer. So me and my brother would sort of image that. So I would do all of Ant's parts, and Phil would do all of Dec's parts.
Oh, that's really cute.
And then it basically went from there. So I started liking all the rap, and Phil started liking the singing and stuff. And then my first ever tape, music that I bought was R. Kelly. I didn't know I used to piss on girls back then, but underage girls. R. Kelly was You Got That Vibe. That was the first cassette I ever listened to. And he was more R&B. But then I started listening to the Radio 1 Rap Show with Tim Westwood on Friday and Saturday nights on the radio, because we started getting obviously we started asking for stuff for Christmas, have a radio or stereo, whatever it may be. So we could listen to that. And then back then you had to hold record and play to record, which some of you know, but you had to record music from. Then you could listen to on the way to school or whatever. So then obviously Walkmans came out with CDs, but you couldn't walk with it and do that because it would skip, because the laser would, So you'd have to hold it while you're walking and stuff. But then when I started listening to the music as I'm getting older, listening to the Radio and Rap Show, it was all the American stuff I was listening to. So Tim Westwood would be showcasing Ludacris, who was massive at the time, Cameron, this was before Lil Wayne, before 50 Cent and that sort of stuff. But then 1998, 99, when Eminem released Hi, My Name Is, I was hooked. Because Eminem was oh my God, he's a rapper. And it wasn't really so much he was white, but he was a rapper. He was saying stuff that everyone was thinking, but because he was so controversial, he was saying it, no one else was. And I was oh my God, and he was saying bad words. Oh, he just said this, oh, he just said that. And then I just fell in love with it there. So basically, most of it was from Eminem. But growing up, I used to love listening to Ludacris and Eminem. And then it just blossomed from there, really. And then as I started getting slightly older, I stumbled across like the battle rapping scene. And then one of the things I absolutely adored watching, but I had to download it off the internet and stuff, was Nick Cannon's Wild 'N Out. So when that first started, obviously Nick Cannon, this show is Nick Cannon comes on, has a load of comedians. They weren't famous at the time, I don't think. And they just started doing an improv show. But the very last round was always called Wild Style. So basically, it was like a punch. It was a point for every punchline. So it wasn't. So yes, it was freestyle rap, but it was only quick here and there. So whenever I do raps, I only do like a couple of lines here and there because I can't do it forever because I'm just not that good enough. But like it was all insults, like battle rapping, but it was comedy as well. So like Afion Crockett, D. Ray Davis, Cat Williams, unbelievable. Like even Kevin Hart went on there, and then they started bringing rappers on who could freestyle. So Kanye West, Snoop Dogg, they started going on there and blowing the show up and stuff. And the Wild Style was my favourite part because I love people who can freestyle. Like Harry Mack, who does it today. Like you know Harry Mack, we've seen lots of his. He's unreal. But back in the day, like when I stumbled across that, I was like, oh my god, I couldn't get enough of it. So I was trying to download as much as I can, and I knew I'd never get anywhere with it. I'd never try to do professionally anything daft like that. It's just a daft little thing I do just for the crack. It's nothing any more than that. But then I went to Vegas, and I just wrote something when I was like I wrote something when I was like 18. I wrote a daft little rap, and then I memorized that, and then I did that in Vegas because I remember while we were walking down the Vegas Strip. Was it the new part or old part? I can't remember. I think it was the old part. I think we're walking down the New York Vegas Strip, and it was for my best mate's brother's stag do. And one thing that obviously massively separates America from England is like when you walk down America, they have just like in a big place like New York, being Times Squares and stuff, and like Vegas, they'll just have like a couple of people stood there rapping, and then everyone forms a crowd around them and start rapping. It's unbelievable. Well, there was a couple of lads doing it. They had a mic and all that. Obviously, they're doing it for money, like with a hat and the bussing. But like obviously, like Ed Sheeran, he became famous and stuff because he was bussing in London and stuff. These major cities you can do it in. There's lots of them in America. There's one massive one, which is capital in England, which is London. Maybe they'll do it in Manchester, Liverpool. I don't know, but the main thing is they'll do it in London. But in Vegas, I saw this and I was like, I've been wanting to see like a real life people. These were proper freestyling because they had the music on, and then they were like going over to people and like rapping about what they were wearing there and then. It's not something you can write. They were doing it there. I was like, oh my god, this is unreal. This is amazing. So I said to my best mate Liam, and was like, mate, I'm going to see if I can go on the mic, Mm-hmm. He went, what? I went, mate, I'm never going to see these people again. I don't care if I mess up. It's just, I want to do it, and I'm in Vegas. I'm never going to do it again in my life. I'm just going to do it. Why not? Sorry, we had to do a little cut there because the last half an hour, we realised the mics died. We have to do it all again. And we can't remember what we talked about. But
yeah,
I know I was saying about, like Liam was like, just do it then. And I was like, right, okay, so I'll do it. So there was a song that they just played. So I said, oh, can I use your last tune? Because he goes, do, do, then it kicks in, and I did my little rap thing. And like there's sometimes like I do an American voice, and I know it's not looked on favourably to do an English person do American voice. The only reason I do it is because, I mean, if I was to ever become a rapper, yes, I wouldn't use American voice, but just because I've always watched more of the American stuff. So like when I would listen to Eminem and Ludacris and all that, I was listening to them, it was always more American stuff I was listening to. And because of the battle rap scene and Darkest Man and Harry Panero and stuff like that, it's more of a gimmick thing, but and you can actually rap more in American voice than you can American accent than you can with a English. But yeah, so that's why I do that. But I did it, and afterwards I was like people were clapping, and obviously the crowd wasn't there because of me. I went in afterwards, but and then there was a lad, James, who's like very much of a bravado lad, like doesn't wear his heart on his sleeve and wouldn't dare say anything emotional or anything like that. But even he went, mate, that was all right. That was quite good. That I was like,
Really?
if he's saying stuff like that, then and other people clapping and stuff like that. And I even saw one of the rappers. He went, and you can see that in the
Wow.
video. Like he's good, So I was like, oh. So I would never do it as a bit of a mess about with a joke thing. It's never anything serious and stuff like that. But like, it's a question that you said yesterday. Like when we were looking at Will Smith, we were like, imagine what he's feeling right now.
Yeah, I know. Absolutely. Like, I was just saying to Jamie yesterday at the concert, that, when we were sat there waiting for him to come on, like, how amazing it would be to, like, have, like, what a gift it is to be able to perform and have so many people sort of look up to you and love you and support you, and everyone's turned up for you. And it must be such an amazing feeling to, he didn't know that. Obviously, he knows he's going to be popular and people are going to turn up to see him. But, not knowing how many seats you're going to sell out and then walking on stage and seeing not one empty seat must be such an amazing feeling. And like, people look up to you as a person and, you change people's lives because music is such a powerful thing, isn't it? And, the music that you produce can literally save people's lives, which is such an amazing thing to do.
Yeah, because it's like when you go through issues or whatever, like fair enough, you may come across other people's issues who are very similar or whatever it may be. But when a famous person's gone through the same stuff as you, it's almost like validating that. Oh well, if that famous person going through it, it must be real. It's not just me.
Yeah,
even though
it's, like,
25 people said I
relatable.
went through the same thing.
Yeah, it's relatable, and you feel like if they can get through it, then so can you, type of thing. And I think that's why I like a lot of the Imagine Dragons songs. I think because the things that he sings about is quite relatable to what I've been through in life and stuff like that. So I think that's why I think people listen to the genre of music that relates to them the most. Like, whether it's rap or hip hop or rock, whatever it might be that you're into. You listen to what's more relatable to you and what you can resonate with to the songs. You know what I mean?
Well, but like I say, he was absolutely class, and imagine being up on there and having all that adrenaline, and everyone's there for you, and
Yeah.
it's. But yeah, it was absolutely class. But then again, it's like, obviously I've tried other things, haven't I? So like, I know there's a Big Brother audition thing that was going around, and
on the wide web somewhere. So there's an audition video of Jamie for Big Brother.
Yeah, so only because when Big Brother first came out, this week I would like to nominate Shara. So that was Craig who won. I think it was 2000 or 2002. My memory serves me. I'm sure it was 2000. And then like Nasty Nick was on and stuff like that. That was the first of the reality TV that came out that British public were hooked on, and it come year after year. So I think it was Big Brother 10 that I did an audition on. And it was only a daft one, and I was, make myself look like a bit of a divvy, just because when you had to apply back then, you applied by uploading a video, because video started coming out on phones back then. So you upload yourself. Oh no, wait there. My mate did it with his camcorder, and you had to upload it or send it to them via email, or I can't remember what it was. Excuse me. So we did it that way. And I had a few comments on there saying, "Oh, you'd have been really funny and stuff like that." And I remember because a woman did it before, and she did like a rap, like, "Oh, my name is this, and I want to be in Big Brother," and whatever it may be. And she got on, or he, I can't remember who it was, got on the show. So I thought, well, I can't do that one. So I just did this random one, and obviously it never went anywhere. But what I remember them always saying is, don't say I'm mad. That will not get you on TV saying I'm mad, me, because everybody says the same thing. So that's why I want you to be creative and think of something else you want to do. But obviously, I've put together a little, like, a minute's worth of. I mean, they had to edit in all that sort of stuff. This was years ago.
Back then as well.
So it was like it was a bit of a.
We know how hard editing can be now. Never mind back then.
But what's actually quite funny that it was a bit of a funny video.
I mean, that video's been passed around like the village hooker, hasn't it? Really, but
yes.
I mean,
The thing is, I've lost my
It's
stuff to
funny.
that channel now, so I can't even access it or whatever. But I don't know. Maybe if we get a little bit famous, I can ring up YouTube and be like, yeah, that is my video. Coming back now. But there was another one called the PPP, the Perfect World Project. So this one, I actually did a rap intro for this one, and I spent a bit of time on it because out of 5,000 applicants, I made it down to the last 1,000 applicants, and then got invited to a place in Manchester studio where I was in a room with a bunch of people, say 50 people or 100 people, and they whittled it down to like so many again, and then there was other challenges you do, like after if you got through, whittled it down. So I'm still mates with a guy who made the show and got the final 3, I think he said. I think he signed an NDA, so he couldn't speak about it till after it ran out. But it was the guy, something Priestley, Robert Priestley or something like that was his name, where he said, the Perfect World Project, what I want you to do is it's going to be a little bit like it was a little bit like a Big Brother meets I'm a Celebrity meets Love Island, because it was like in an island somewhere, like sun, sea and sand, but you did challenges, but obviously there was cameras all there and stuff. And the prize was whoever comes first can have a black card to spend unlimited amount of money in 3 months, and a camera crew would follow you around for 3 months.
Wow.
So it's like watching I'm a Celebrity, it's like watching I'm a Celebrity with no celebrities,
Yeah.
and then watching the winner for 3 months after they've won, because
No.
obviously you're invested and you love that person, they want to see what they do. Anyway, but there was a small print that said it's not actually unlimited money, it's £250,000, so it's not unlimited.
I mean, I could easily spend that, to be fair.
Well, I don't know if I could, but yeah. So it wasn't like you couldn't just buy a house with it. You had to do stuff with it.
Yeah.
So to spend £250,000 in 3 months to do stuff and maybe not get bored, because you'd have to try everything, wouldn't you? For
I would not
£250,000, you have
get
to try everything.
bored. You have to tell me to spend money.
Yeah, but I don't think you just it's not just buy stuff to keep for the house, like a new washing machine. You have to spend it as though it's like
activities and stuff.
Yeah, to make good TV. Because buying a washing
Right,
machine
okay.
doesn't make good TV, does it?
No.
So that's what I'm saying. Like you're not gonna film you washing your clothes every week. So that's the sort of premise behind it. But so basically, when I was at the show, it was like another second audition part of it. I met a girl called Cleopatra. Now the only girl I've ever met called Cleopatra or the only girl I've ever heard of is either Cleopatra, as in like your ancient Egyptians, whatever, or of a girl group back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, I remember that.
Cleopatra, coming at ya, with Cleopatra.
I remember that
we're
music
coming at ya.
video.
So I was like, oh, Cleopatra, oh, like the girl group. She went, yeah. I went, what do you mean, yeah? She went, I'm Cleopatra. I was like, no.
Oh
And
my
she hadn't
God.
aged. Like, she looked like she was back in, like, this was like, I don't know, 15 years after. I was like, wow. And everyone actually commented saying you have not aged at all.
Wow.
And my brother was there, and I was like, "Well, that's Cleopatra." He was like, "No way." So, but there were certain things you had to do. I can't remember, but obviously, the more you make you proud of yourself, the more good TV you make. So, anyways, like I say, so one of the things is you had to interview you had to get interviewed by the creator of the show, the person whose money, this is like a millionaire, whose idea it was, and he's invested all the money in the show and all that sort of stuff. And I remember one question he said, if you won the show, would you still watch it? I was like, sorry, if you didn't make it through the show, onto the show, would you still watch it? I was like, yeah, of course it does, because I want to see what everyone gets on and all that sort of stuff. I wouldn't have watched it really, but I went, oh, yeah. Anyway, needless to say, I didn't make it. However, so the 10 people who made the show went out there and done all the stuff, didn't even make it to air. So these all had to sign an NDA to say that I couldn't tell who won stuff, because obviously they wanted to make it. It didn't even go to air. Didn't make a TV or nothing.
What?
So it was a waste of time.
What a
Yeah.
waste.
So he lost a fortune. I'm still speaking to the guy I'm mates with, and I said, "Oh, I might want you to come on and give us your side of the story, because I think it'd be quite interesting, because there's still stuff he hasn't said." And then the very last thing I did, I tried Britain's Got Talent. Now, my brother's tried that. My brother used to be into music, like Will Young, and because he used to sound exactly like Will Young. Obviously, going back to the days
I
when
hear Phil sing.
Will Young, George Michael, But then he started listening to a lot of Simply Red, started listening to Coldplay.
Nothing wrong with Coldplay.
Daniel Bedingfield, used to love him. And so he was more like poppy songs, and I was all hip hop and rap and stuff like that. And obviously my mum couldn't say turn that off, it's vowel language, because she wouldn't have a clue. She didn't know, did she? But going back to Britain's Got Talent, so I thought, right, I'll dress up in a suit, because no one's going to think he's going to rap in a suit.
Yeah.
So I was all smartly dressed, and we went to somewhere in Newcastle, and it's not judges when you go for the first audition. It's not Simon Cowell.
Right.
That's the second part. The first part is you go into a room, a guy just goes, right, I'm going to press record, you do your bits and bobs, and then I'll press stop, then you can go. And what happens is, if it's fantastic, unbelievable, everybody's going to, oh, who is this undiscovered talent? They'll put you through.
Mm-hmm.
If it's, oh my God, he looks like an idiot, I wouldn't dare, oh my God, what a fool he's made of himself, ridiculed himself, and all that. He'll make good TV.
But anything in between
Not interested.
doesn't get a cut.
Not interested.
It's a bit sad, really,
Of course
isn't
it is. Because like you say, with a bit of coaching or something, or a bit of
Yeah.
like,
There's probably loads of
arm
talent that
around
turned
you.
away just because they were bang on average.
Yeah.
Not amazing, but not rubbish either.
So I sang You're So Beautiful. My throat's still bad. isn't it?
Yeah, he's not
You're
well.
so
That's the
beautiful.
excuse.
With Akon and Cardinal Official. So I did a little bit of the verse, the rap of Cardinal Official, and then the chorus, verse, chorus. And I had the CD instrumental in my pocket, and I was sat there waiting to go. And when you went into this room, it was like such a beautiful room, very old. As in, like, I can't think of the word. Like the decor, really old, like individual wooden slats, like that used to get your sport hall, where if you fell over and banged your head, you were out for days.
Yeah.
That type of flooring, massively solid brick walls, massive high ceilings. And when you sang, you could like echo it around the room. It was really,
Wow.
really good. So anyway, so I went to stand up, and when they went in and said, "Have you got a CD?" I went, "Yeah." I pulled it out. I felt something in my pocket. I was like, "What's that?" Pulled it out. The CD snapped in two, because I didn't have it in the case.
Oh,
I was like, no.
no.
I was like, "Ooh, someone's looking down on me. It's a blessing. I'll do it a cappella."
Did you actually do that?
Yeah, and then obviously I got nowhere. So.
No.
So maybe it wasn't a blessing in disguise. It was like, we'll save you ridicule on TV. We just won't put you through.
Oh.
No, so obviously no one said anything. I just never got a call back, which means you didn't do anything. But I was obviously singing my heart out and all that sort of stuff. But when you walked out the room, because you could hear people outside were clapping for me when I walked out, when that was really, I was like, oh, I thought, well, someone thinks I'm decent. Do you know what I mean? I was like, oh, okay then. And,
Oh, that's nice. At least they thought you were good.
but obviously it went nowhere after that.
Oh.
So
So you've been close to fame a few times, not quite.
But that's about it, really.
But you've tried to get on TV for a while. You've always been aspired to be on the telly, haven't you?
Well, it's not really. Well, I'm not really aspire. I've just tried it a few times to do something, but obviously the TV world's like, keep away. So
Maybe it's for a reason.
maybe it's for the best.
You never know. YouTube might take off,
Yeah,
and then
it might.
that'll be your thing.
It might do, it might not. But yeah. So that's pretty much about it, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. Obviously, I'm away next week to Gran Canaria.
Yes. Next week we get the
Yeah.
RS.
Next Monday, just before I go
So
pick
we'll
up the new
vlog that.
RS.
Do a bit of things on that.
Yeah. So we'll film getting the RS. That'll probably be the next video. Bit of car content.
You do a couple of TikToks with you sat on the beach.
Yeah. With a cocktail in hand.
Yeah.
Not trying to make you jealous or anything while you're at work.
No.
And then obviously, when I get back, we're going down to Manchester to film the collab that we've been keeping so secret with another YouTuber,
Yeah.
which is so exciting. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
So that'll be the next sort of video after the RS.
Yeah.
So we've got some exciting content coming. So
Yeah.
stay tuned, stick with us, because it's going to get more and more interesting as it goes on.
It is indeed.
Hopefully we'll get funnier.
And I haven't done my I haven't done a rap.
It's a podcast and you haven't done a rap?
This is the fourth one and I haven't done a rap. I haven't got anything prepared though.
Come on.
Twin revolvers. That's what I'm about. 100k, I got at least 2 of my accounts. 1,000 subscribers. We want to count this podcast as done, so we're over and out. And that'll do. Just a little something for you.
Well done. That was good. That for
Just off the top.
off the top of your head. There we go.
Throw anything at me.
It's not a podcast without a rap from Jamie.
Nah. Throw some words and I'll rhyme. But yeah, no, that's about it. So thank you very much.
No, thank you
for
guys.
watching. Sorry about the mess up. We'll make sure that doesn't happen again.
We appreciate all the support.
Yeah.
All the likes, the comments, the subscribers. It means the world to us. So thank you for everyone that's stuck with us so far. And if you've still been watching an hour in,
God bless
then thank you very much. I'm sure Yaz, Mum, and Sammy will all still be watching. They like to watch our podcast on the Breakfast Club. So thanks, guys, if you're still watching.
Yeah.
And we'll see you.
I was going to say, if one of them watches it on an iPad, a phone, and the TV, then we'll get more views. And watch it
so watch it on individual devices, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. See you in the next one.
Bye.